What do you think will be the biggest problem Gen Z faces? Lack of communication, attention spans, and social skills due to reliance on technology. The same issues millennials face, but even worse. There's even fewer housing options and fewer good jobs, and they're going to be expected to just live with it and pretend previous generations didn't have it easier. As a millennial, I feel like the boomers took just about everything for themselves, and we were left to fight over the scraps. Now Gen Z are expected to fight over our scraps. Overcoming AI usage. Reality. Not in that the youth have their head up their ass sense. There are so many different tools and parties working so hard to make it impossible to understand what reality even is. It's bad enough that some people don't have critical thinking skills. It's way worse that some are incentivized to make sure the next generation never develops them. Probably mental health and a lack of long-term stability. Constant comparison through social media, pressure to succeed, rising living costs, and the feeling that even with hard work, real security is hard to reach. Gen Z grew up with endless possibilities, but also endless uncertainty. Climate change and the political and economic instability it will cause. Social media giving them all mental issues. Poverty and lack of opportunity, same as millennials. Getting mowed down by drones in the clean water wars of 2033. Not knowing how to do shit because they will ask AI everything. In America, the fall of our way of life. No one can afford anything. Food, rent, gas, utilities, you name it. Pair that with the job market being absolutely garbage and the pay scale being absurdly low. Oh. And don't forget the erosion of our democracy. Mass surveillance. You could pick one, but it's all part of the bigger whole. America is cooked. Phone addiction. AI superseding every human emotion and experience. Unemployment. Not being able to be independent. Wages are too low, college puts you in debt, jobs aren't hiring, houses and apartments will suck all of your money. Unable to enjoy your 20s like other generations because shit costs too much. As someone who's Gen Z, buying a house. On a wider scale, climate change. Probably the generations after them being complete imbeciles. Talk to any teacher, kids are showing up to school in droves who can barely speak English. Parents are sitting their kids in front of iPads 24/7 and teaching them absolutely nothing. These kids are not going to grow up to be competent in the workforce. Gen Z themselves are already pretty dumb and bad in the workforce, if we're being honest. Kids using social media. Uncertainty about the future. Themselves. Apathy. Societal collapse and a lack of skills to be able to deal with it. There's going to be such a huge difference between the first and second half of gens that we should refer to them as different generations, or say that Gen Alpha starts with those born in 2005. The kids that were still kids when we went into COVID lockdown are broken. Teachers referred to them as feral when they came back to school. They are missing basic life skills because their millennial parents didn't have the resources to homeschool their kids while holding down a job in the middle of. I think the biggest issue for Gen Z will be mental health struggles amplified by social media and economic uncertainty. It's going to be a wild ride for them FR. Successful employment, because it seems the vast majority of them have not learned anything in their life. They proudly use ChatGPT, even though college. I am a manager at work, and I basically do not hire them. I mean, legally I cannot do this, but there are ways to get around that. I simply cannot trust they are competent.